Welcome everybody to Real Talk Twin Cities, bringing you local expert advice on all things real estate. Here with Cheryl Kempenick, Coldwell Banker Burnett, also Donna Quanroot, Coldwell Banker Burnett. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi, Eric.
Or gals, I should say.
That's better.
I'm Eric the Lone Guy with Bell Mortgage. Every Saturday at 4 o'clock on AM 1280 The Patriot, Sundays at 6 a.m. on AM 1570 The Wall Street Business Network. We would love to help you buy, sell, or refinance, and you can reach us at realtalktwincities.com. This week, we've got a lot of interesting stuff coming up for you. But first, how was your week? What's going on in your world there, Cheryl?
Well, my week was typical for me, nothing but working. Yours was much more exciting. Congratulations on having such a great 2014 and your trip to Mexico for being in the President's Club. How was that?
Thank you. It was good. Short, good. Worked a little every morning and managed to...
No. I saw your flyboard video. That's not working.
Well, right. That was, there was that with the hook it up to a jet ski with the hose and fly about 20 feet in the air. Fortunately, about a third of the company was watching, so there was no pressure.
Well, and it would have been a little embarrassing. I saw all of the dives. You sort of looked like a dolphin. That's what I was thinking.
I think we should put it on our website. So
Facebook, Real Talk Twin Cities, Facebook.
Yeah, so more people can
Absolutely.
enjoy that.
It's worth a gander. It was pretty humorous. Getting up was fine, and you could stay up for a little while, and then pretty soon it's okay.
Yeah,
And then-
it seemed like the first time you had more leg strength, and it kept diminishing because you were upright for shorter periods as
Yeah.
time went on.
I thought a sea creature was coming out from, the ocean at first.
It
And then it
does
was like,
look
oh
like
man, that's Eric.
Yeah, sort of like when you've seen the movies and they've got that person on the nose of the dolphin and they come shooting out,
Right,
Yeah.
right?
right.
It looked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the second time would be truly fun. The first time was, wondering if it would work, which it did, and wondering how bad it would hurt, which it didn't. But anyway,
Well,
yes.
it was good humor for the rest of us.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that at my
Yes.
expense.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So-
So I was out there doing open houses. The one thing that I've really noticed is
Mm-hmm.
people are taking our advice on
Yes.
checking into the rent versus owning. Just dozens of young people I ran into this
Mm-hmm.
week. People just finding great deals that are renting now for $1,400 a month with a one-bedroom condo and buying something where their payment's going down to $800 a month. Another one going from $1,200 a month in St. Paul for 2 bedrooms going down to $700 a month.
Big savings for people.
Huge savings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can get your own rent versus own at realtalktwincities.com. Just reach out to us in the Ask the Expert section. Happy to do it for you. I've done it many times. And it shows the net worth 5 years out, renting versus owning. And no matter how many ways you figure it, even the most conservative possible, you're still tens of thousands of dollars ahead. And, the pride of ownership.
Exactly. We definitely want to help you out with that. But I will mention too, Eric, you referred somebody to me who
Mhm.
owns quite a bit of investment property.
Oh, yeah.
And my advice to him was not to sell. It's really disappointing for me because I would love to have, all of those listings to sell. But when you take a look at the investment that he has put into the property, all of the properties, and the return that he's getting is just phenomenal. And of course, it's not always easy to be a landlord and have to deal with renters' issues, but the amount of money that he's making versus the return if he sold them isn't quite there yet. So as we continue to watch the market, we know when the best time to sell during the year is the worst time to sell. This is usually pretty good for him, but he would really be better off if he could just give it, at least one more year.
I
to
told
see
him
what
he should
happens.
sell.
I
so-
know, he kept saying, Eric said. I'm like, this isn't Eric's property, we've got to look at yours. And I looked at it every possible way, the most expensive homes in the neighborhood. And, he's going, okay, I can improve them, I can put in new kitchens, new bathrooms. What happens then? You don't get 100% back of that.
That's
So
true.
you start improving it that way, and then you're losing even more.
Sometimes the right thing to do is talk ourselves out of business because it's
Exactly.
right for what the client goals and objectives are.
Exactly.
I do that fairly often. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, maybe a third of the time people shouldn't refi.
Right.
But it's good to know that.
Right.
Yeah.
And a mortgage checkup doesn't take long, and you can reach me at realtalktwincities.com or Eric the Loan Guy on Facebook. And for a mortgage checkup, are you missing something? Who knows? You always feel like you might be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
get a hold of me. I can help you with that.
Yeah, you should really analyze your situation every year. Same thing if you own a home. You're going to want to get a market analysis once a year and check to see, do I have equity? Should I do something different? Is it time to sell? So if you're wondering what is the value or the equity in your home, call us 612-735-0553, 612-735-0553.
Nope. Price. I'm sorry, I
No,
interrupted
no,
you.
no, no, no.
Well, prices are up. I want to go back to the you told the guy not to sell piece. And for investors, they might be looking at their properties going, wow, values have rebounded quite a bit. The median sale price has gone up every month for 12 months, Donna?
Yes, 2014, every single month we saw median sale prices go up.
Okay.
Which, I think we're going to continue to see some of that moving into 2015. Listings are up too as well. We're seeing people jumping into this new market and we're seeing those listings go up and we're seeing more pending sales, which is always a good trend. And I just think that now is the time to be thinking about what you are going to be doing with that property. Is it time to sell in 2015? And maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. What we're seeing coming up for the rest of the year 2015, and why some people feel it's going to be a banner year for selling real estate.
Which is back to my point, which is so why should this guy's got many investment properties. Some of them are a headache. I happen to know that, and the values are up. He can get quite a bit of cash, but all of them he would profit. So what?
For him, it's more about the rate of return that
Okay.
he's after. And so in his mind, he was thinking that he could get X number of dollars on average for all of these properties based on their current condition. Well, he's off by about $30,000
On each one.
on each one,
Oh,
on
that
average.
means I was off. Okay.
Yeah. So you and I can go through those numbers a
Yeah.
little more closely if you want to do that.
Okay, so that's why though,
Right,
and you can determine that with a market analysis.
right.
So what I'm saying is that if you're an investor, if you're listening, if you're thinking about selling, get a hold of Cheryl and she can perform market analysis and do an assessment of your ROI, return on investment, to help you determine, is this the right time to sell or not? Because I thought it was for this
Well-
guy, and apparently it's not.
And you know what, it's possible that when we get to May or June, it could look completely different. Because
Right.
as we know, we've talked about this before, the prices starting now, after the Super Bowl, they're gonna continue to rise until we get through June. And then
Right.
starting in July, we're gonna start to see them come back down again. So, it's just like, I've mentioned before, I sold my condo. I had it on the market a year ago. It didn't sell during the peak time, and then I pulled it off. I waited until peak time again this year, got it on, sold it right away for the price that I was looking for. Had it not sold, I would have done the same thing again. It's all about timing the market.
So really what you're saying is, real estate is very local, and it also depends on what people's goals and objectives are. Because if the objective or the goal for this guy was, these are really a headache and I just got to get out, that's a different reason than looking at what you need to take in, put in your pocket to be able to get out of the transactions.
Right.
So that's why we want to listen very carefully to what their goals and objectives are, and help them meet that, whatever that is.
Yeah, the other thing I ran across this past week too is I had a former client call me about a listing that their parents have, and the property sits, now when you hear Greater East Side of St. Paul, what do you think? Right, exactly. So I
comment,
thought, okay, I'm gonna go there because I'm gonna do whatever I can for them. They've had it on the market with another agent, hasn't sold. I went over there, and as soon as I thought, oh my gosh, we're practically in Maplewood. We are like 2 blocks from the Maplewood border. And then, Donna, it's across the street from a cemetery. And
Quiet
so,
neighbors.
Quiet neighbors,
Mhm.
Park for the Dead, you know. So I've got all sorts of good rationale for
Yeah.
selling this. And so then I thought about this other client, a friend of Jake's, my son, who's been out there looking for properties in Maplewood, Oakdale, and they've just been horrible. She's been trying to be down below 100,000. And I said, Jake, you gotta get her over here, you know, and she came in, and it's just an amazing fit. So, you know, we can't get so tied up in thinking one area is better than another area without really looking at it, because now that I've spent time there, it's an amazing neighborhood. And my thought is, if she doesn't buy it, guess who's gonna? It's a good deal.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
serious, Eric, I was gonna call you.
Oh,
But
okay.
I might,
Rates are low.
I thank you.
I'll get your pre-approval in 1 business day,
Awesome.
I might need it quicker than that. Can you pull any strings?
a couple hours.
Oh, thanks.
You get a calendar at Christmas too.
That's why, I didn't get one last year.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
You'll get a holiday calendar. Oh,
I'm not on your list.
Wow.
Yeah.
interesting. So a lot of millennials out there, huh?
Oh.
Taking your advice as far as renting versus owning, and
They
truly.
sure are.
They are. Another one I ran into, I was doing an open house and a young person came in and she said, yeah, I looked at this other great property, you know, up on the hill, Summit, near the Summit Avenue neighborhood. She said, I think I'm gonna buy it. And I'm like, too late. I sold that one yesterday. Should have written an offer. Who's your agent? You snooze, you lose. They all go back to their agents and say, oh, I really like this. And the agents say, call me if there's any other offers.
Well, you know what's
Crazy.
going to happen, multiples.
And they get
They're
to
gonna
pay
pay
more.
more.
And they, yeah. Well, that's too bad. Well, if you want to avoid that, get a hold of Cheryl, realtalktwincities.com. We'll be back with more on AM 1280 The Patriot. We're here for you for all things real estate every Saturday at 4 o'clock. We'll be right back.